when people say, especially for Instagram or Facebook,
Mhm.
that they're posting 2 or 3 times a week, the platform hasn't even switched it on for you yet.
Yeah,
You really have to post. If it's a business page, you have to post every day, at
okay.
least once a day. And the other is content. It's not just about quantity, but quantity. They're going to give distribution to people using the platform. So you
That's
got to
right.
have quantity, but you can't just putting a lot of stuff out there that's not resonating with your audience.
Mhm.
So you got to understand your audience, live true to your brand and what you provide,
Mhm.
and provide great content doing so. I never talk about something just because I heard it somewhere else. And that's the biggest problem in marketing today. The
Mhm.
biggest problem in marketing at DTS is that everyone's doing what everyone else is doing just because that's what everyone else is doing. So they think it's the right thing to do. It's the herd mentality.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Your Lab Central. Today I'm joined with Dan. So Dan, would you like to tell our audience why they should be excited about this conversation today?
Well, there's so much there because, I think it's this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people claim that they're too busy for this, too busy for that. And I get it. If there's anybody that understands busy, I do. But I really feel we should never be too busy to keep learning. And as founders or business people, whatever our position is, it's very important to always be learning. And when I say I understand busy, I have two very busy businesses, one of the largest media companies in the music industry online. And I also have a marketing training and coaching company that keeps me very busy. But the thing that keeps me the most busy is that I'm married. We have 3 dogs, 2 cats. We have 11 grown kids, 19 grandkids, and a great grandson. So when people tell me they're too busy to go listen to an audiobook or go to a webinar to learn something, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you know what busy really is.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm busier than everyone else, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter really of prioritizing and understanding how important it is to always learn. To me, that's important.
All right. So first up, just want to say lots of love to your huge family.
Thanks.
It's just surprised, but yeah, lucky for you to have such a huge family behind your back, and yeah, that you are able to spend so much time with them. Okay, so let's get started, right? So I see a lot of music instruments, and then a lot of. So is it something related to your work? You mentioned, right, one of the largest music companies. So
Yeah.
online. So let's start there. How did it come along? Where did it start?
So I had a video
Mhm.
production company for about 14 years where I was doing basically online commercials for companies, product launch videos, training videos, um, biographical videos of companies, things like that, promotional videos.
Mhm.
And then I had to put a pause on everything. I took care of my father for the last 16 weeks of his life. And after that, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I mentioned it to my wife. I said, I don't know what I want to do. Let me just do all your marketing. She's an artist and a therapist.
Mhm.
And after a couple months or so, she said, you really should find something that's all you. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so she suggested I teach drum lessons. Well, at the time, I knew streaming video.
Mhm.
I did still play all these things. I thought that makes sense. I'll start an online lesson
Mhm.
brand. Well, shortly after I started doing that, and first of all, that's why I really started cutting my teeth on social media marketing and breaking a lot of the codes and things like that. But what happened was I started interviewing other people. And
Mhm.
she said, that's what you should do. You should really have an interview show. And I didn't get it at first. I said, no, it's about the lessons. That's just a separate extra thing. She said, no, I'm telling you, it's about the lessons. And then a couple other people started saying that. So I thought maybe I should listen to them. Long
Right.
story a little shorter, within 6 months, I closed what was called Dan's Drum Clinics and I opened Drum Talk TV. And right away, we skyrocketed past everybody in our space. And we were the nearest brand, we were the newest brand
Hmm.
in 10 years. And that's when I knew that we had something special. And that was 12 and a half years ago. So that's how it started and kind of evolved from one thing into the other. And what we do is, and it's not just for drummers, it's for music fans. We do documentaries, we cover events, we do interviews with gold and platinum artists and artists that I discovered that I just think are very talented, but have a really good story.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of education mixed in. There's a lot of news and editorial. There's 5 original series, and one of them is a news desk show that happens every Friday afternoon. We talk about music industry news. And now we have a membership site as well, which is really built for music fans. There's twice a month live streamed game shows that people can participate in that are music
Yeah.
themed. They can win prizes, and it's just blown up into this really big thing. And I started the marketing training and coaching company in the first year of Drum Talk TV because in our first 8 months, we achieved 900% more online reach and engagement than all of our industry peers. That inspired me to want to teach people how to do what I did because I really saw at the time, I kind of felt like I was the only one that was cracking the codes to the algorithms that were preventing people from reaching more people and getting
Mhm.
more engagement and things like that. So that's how all those things kind of happened at the same time and grew.
So, what were those early lessons that you picked up that probably everybody else was not picking up?
Number one, don't be too emotionally attached to
Hmm.
any one idea. I've seen people pursue
Hmm.
bad ideas or continue to pursue ideas that either didn't work out or they
Hmm.
keep pursuing them because they already spent X amount of money on it. And
Okay.
those are not good reasons to pursue an idea. You pursue an idea because you believe in it, and that's not an emotional. That means you believe it will work. You believe it's helping people. You believe you can figure
Yeah.
out how to make it work. But it's also that you believe, you know that you can do it. And sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, that didn't work out. I know
Hmm.
we spent $20,000 on it, but that didn't work out. Let's move on. Having spent a certain amount of money on it is
Yeah.
no reason to keep pursuing a bad idea. So don't become too emotionally attached.
Yeah.
Always be learning, like I said, and always be more than willing to make mistakes. To me,
Uh,
I don't think there's such a thing as mistakes. There's just learning opportunities.
yeah.
And be open to learning from people who might, on the surface, have what you perceive as less experience than you in a certain area.
Hmm.
But like on our team, there's 9 of us, and everyone knows that in our team meetings or really at any time, anyone can chime in on something else, even if it's not part of their job description, even if it's not their department. It's almost a responsibility for them to speak up if they see that there's a bottleneck or they have a better idea for something. And that's part of our company culture, which I'm really proud of. And that's the other thing, develop a really great company culture. Even if it's just 3 people, you, me, myself, and I, you still have to start with a great company culture in order to grow it amongst other people. So those are some of the most important things, I think.
Okay, now let's talk about something actionable that you are doing on platforms, right? I just checked your YouTube channel, I checked your Instagram, I checked, I don't know, I checked X as well. Very strong followerships and engagement rates. What's keeping it up, right? Is it like consistency or is it a specific type of content that you do? What are people engaging with?
It's really both. When people say, especially for Instagram or Facebook,
Mm.
that they're posting 2 or 3 times a week, the platform hasn't even switched it on for you yet.
Yeah.
You really have to post. If it's a business page, you have to post every day, at
Okay.
least once a day. And the other is content. It's not just about quantity, but quantity. They're going to give distribution to people using the platform. So you got to
Okay.
have quantity, but you can't just putting a lot of stuff out there that's not resonating with your audience.
Mhm.
So you got to understand your audience, live true to your brand and what you provide,
Mhm.
and provide great content doing so. So it's both quality and consistency.
Okay. Now let's talk about the website that you have, right? I went through your website. Uh, looks very, I don't know how to say it. It looks something like something that was built in the 2000s. It's surely not something that was built yesterday or in the past couple of years, because it's, I don't know how to describe it, but uh,
Yeah.
there's an old school charm about the whole website itself that you've built. And is there a specific reason, and uh, are people liking it?
So I think you're referring to drumtalktv.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Jump Talk TV Brilliance was the,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I think,
The
yeah.
other one. So
Uh,
Drum Talk TV Brilliance is our membership site,
oh,
and that's
okay.
a lot newer and a lot more up to date. Drumtalktv.com hasn't been updated in about 6 years.
Okay.
And the reason there's a couple reasons why. One of the reasons why, and this is not a good reason, but it's a reason. I talked about not being, not saying that you're too busy, but as a company and as a team, we've gotten so busy that there's probably 600 interviews we've done that are not on that website. The
Okay.
PHP is out of date on the coding and everything else. But really, the reason why we began to neglect that is because, as crazy as it sounds, it's not that important to us.
Hmm.
All of it is important, but all of our engagement, all of our real time activity happens on social media. It happens on YouTube, happens on Facebook, happens on Instagram. Whereas the website is a place to drive traffic to for certain things, and we can still do that. But it's not a place where people are going and hanging out, poking
Yeah.
around. That's really what our membership site is for, which is Drum Talk TV
Hmm.
Brilliance.com. And that's only about a year old.
Hmm.
So there's a big difference between that and drumtalktv.com that hasn't been updated in 5 or 6 years. However, on drumtalktv.com, there's a very, very deep rabbit hole of interviews and event coverage and different things to still go look at. I agree. Aesthetically, it's not exactly up to date. Content wise, there's a lot of great stuff
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We
Do.
have that in the works in the background. It's probably going to take us 9 months before we debut a new replacement site for that URL.
Right. Now, so I was looking at your YouTube page, right? Just that, and it resonated a lot to me as well. Okay, and I don't know if this is a problem or is this something that takes time to build up, especially for new pages like mine. That we release a new episode or a new video, and it just lies there, and it doesn't. I mean, the first few hundred views probably it will go, and then beyond that it just plateaus, and then suddenly someday somebody will discover it and then it shoots up. uh,
Yeah,
is this an algorithm thing, or what have you observed? What is the reason behind this?
that's a really interesting question. And I really believe that it's more in how the platform is used,
Mhm.
but at a deeper level, it's how that platform is used for that brand. And what I mean is, for our brand, there's a lot of engagement and a lot of interaction. And most people are not using YouTube as that. They're using it like a television. They're watching stuff on it. It's not where people really get engaged a lot in conversations the way we see them do with the same content on Facebook. We have the exact same content
Okay.
on both platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I haven't slept in like 3 days. So on the other side of that coin, though, my wife watches certain types of YouTube channels that have a million subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a place for them where their viewers go and watch like a serialized show.
Yeah.
We have four original series, but we have five, but only four of them happen once a month. The
Mhm.
rest of that content is either content we create or curated content covering events. It's not something that people, quote, tune in to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, they're not expecting, oh, Thursday, the new episode of so and so comes out. So they
Yeah.
go to that YouTube channel and they watch it. So I think it's partly behavioral by the consumer, but
Mm-hmm.
on the next level, drilling down, it's the behavioral part on how that brand's content is consumed. On ours, it's just Facebook that's working. And if people are thinking right away when they hear this, that they think it's because our fan base is older.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. Every age group is on every platform. When people say that Facebook is circling the drain or it's only for seniors, they have no idea what they're talking about. There are over 3 billion users using it every day.
Yeah.
And our biggest age group is 25 to 34. 18 to 24 is on it, 44, 45 to 50. Every age group is on every platform. I think it's more so how the brand's content is consumed. And there are YouTube channels like she follows that only do one thing. They have
Okay.
one show, and it might be on every day, might be on every week, twice a week. And so people go there to watch that show. It's the second largest search engine and the largest, what I would refer to as a broadcast channel.
Yeah.
So I really think that's the biggest difference consumer behavior and how they use it based on that brand's content.
So, how would you suggest optimizing on this? I mean, because the consumer is obviously engaging with the content in a certain way. So, how do you change a strategy for that? Uh,
I think that you can only change it so much. I think another part of the solution
Mhm.
is to put the same content on multiple platforms.
Okay.
Like what we do is we put everything everywhere. We don't put these
Okay.
pieces of content on X and these pieces on Instagram and these on YouTube and these on Facebook. We put everything everywhere. I mean, if it has enough value to put on one platform, why
Hmm.
wouldn't someone put it on the other platforms that they're on? So I think it's more of finding, just like in our case, which platform is going to resonate with how that type of content is consumed. A
Okay.
serialized show that doesn't cover events, that doesn't curate other content, but is basically one or two things, YouTube's probably going to do best for them. And they should still put it on LinkedIn. They should put it on. Oh, my Siri thinks I'm talking to her. Let me turn my volume off. And should still put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, put it everywhere where it
Yeah.
will fit with that platform,
Hmm.
and you'll reach more people. Yes, you'll get overlap of your audience. That's okay. Everything is new to somebody. We repost stuff a lot, which you're not supposed to do on YouTube, but we
Hmm.
do it on Facebook and Instagram all the time. And some people are shocked by that. They say, what they say, Dia, is you mean you repost things? And then I'm stuck like, why would they ask that? Yeah, we repost things. It's called resyndicating or repurposing. And they say, well, aren't you worried about wearing your audience out? All right, let's get real. Number one, not everybody who follows you is seeing all your content. It's
Correct.
impossible for that to happen unless they go to your channel and just swim through everything. And that's not happening for anybody on any channel. That's number one. Number two, even if it did distribute your content to everybody, how are people using the channel? When are they seeing it? It doesn't mean they're going to see every notification. And
That's
number
right.
three, the most important thing is hopefully we are always all growing our audience. So
Yeah.
everything's new to somebody. And
Okay.
it's also great to remind them of things that were really good pieces of content that maybe they saw before, maybe they missed. So people who think they're going to wear out their audience are just way overthinking it. Way
Mhm.
overthink. The only way you're going to wear out your audience is if you're promoting something and you do it 4 times a day for 4 days leading up to the event. That's wearing out your audience.
Yeah, that I surely will agree. And I'm frankly surprised because this is the first time that somebody is saying that I put out the same content as it is everywhere. Because every time I go ask somebody who says they're a social media specialist, they will say, no, the content should be specific to the audience that is on that specific social media channel. But here you are saying it out loud that all audiences are there on every platform.
Yeah, and I'm curious why they say that because they don't know enough about the specificity of each audience on every platform. And the way I know that is because there isn't one platform that gives us enough information to determine that. They're way overthinking it. So here's what I tell people. There's a lot of information out there, and I'm one of them. I'm one of the people putting information out there. Take to heart and mind
Mhm.
the information based on its source. I reach an average of 100 million people a year without paying for SEO, without paying for ads, without boosting posts. We have 1.5 million fans across social, 1.3 million just on Facebook alone.
Mhm.
I have figured out what works, and that's the only thing I teach. I never talk about something just because I heard it somewhere else. And that's the biggest problem in marketing today. The
Mhm.
biggest problem in marketing, Aditya, is that everyone's doing what everyone else is doing just because that's what everyone else is doing. So they think it's the right thing to do. It's the herd mentality. We had 47,000 fans on Facebook in
Mhm.
the first 7 weeks of being a company, and we never paid for that. We did it because I didn't do what everyone else was doing. I figured stuff out that made sense. I used some logic, some
Mhm.
uncommon sense, and the problem with common sense is it's too common. It's
Mhm.
what everyone's doing. I used some logic, uncommon sense, and I tested things. The
Mhm.
things that didn't work, we either trashed or fixed if we could figure out how. And the stuff that worked, we made better and better and better and better over the whole last 12 and a half years.
Mhm.
And even in that first few months, first few weeks, first few days, make everything better and better and leverage what you know works.
Mhm.
And that's what works. No matter what it is, music, boats, clothing, health and wellness, spirituality, it all works exactly the same way.
Right. Now, okay, so yeah, this makes a lot of sense because uh, the main part being doing experiments, right? If you're willing to do experiments, remove the trash and get what stuff works and just improve on that continuously is probably the thing which rings the bell, right? And gets everybody going. You mentioned, I don't
Can I
think,
comment on that? Can I
yeah.
comment on that? What you're saying is so important because when people don't do that,
Hmm.
I think they're stuck in myopia. They're very myopic, believing that their stuff is just great and it's going to work. If they're averse to testing things, because they don't want to see that something might break or something might not work or their stuff might not get any results and they're just throwing stuff out there because they believe it's going to work. That's not a strategy. You've got to test things always, always, always.
Right.
Yeah.
What I was get thanks for that. Now, what I was getting at was LinkedIn. Okay, we didn't talk about LinkedIn. How's your experience been with LinkedIn? I'm not sure if you would still say that you post out the same stuff from YouTube to LinkedIn, but still, just asking.
So that's a great question. And it's my answer might be different from some other people's answers,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of people out there that will answer the same way I am.
Mhm.
I was on LinkedIn as a person, as
Mhm.
a business professional for probably the last, I guess, 12 years.
Mhm.
It was only a year ago that we started a Drum Talk TV business page.
Okay.
And we did it because I never thought it was important. We
Yeah.
did it because someone working for us nagged me enough to where I said, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah.
We did it and we don't really do a lot with it. Like I'm not bent on building a big following there. I just don't think that that's what LinkedIn is for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there, but if someone were to go to it, I think there's less than 20 followers. It's kind of like, who cares?
Yeah.
But as a business professional, I put more about, I curate other business stories by other legacy business thought leaders out there like Gary Vee, Michael Port,
Hmm.
um, a lot of people whose audiobooks I listen to.
Hmm.
And I might advertise things for my marketing company. I do free workshops once or twice a month,
Hmm.
things like that. And that's about it. And the other, and you're right. I have no interest in putting drumming videos or music videos
Yeah.
on my personal LinkedIn profile. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It, to me, that's not why I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn to meet people like you, other business professionals, stay up to date with what certain business professionals are doing, advertise my marketing course, advertise my free marketing workshops. Once in a while, we'll advertise some things that Drum Talk TV does. Like we do twice a month free music themed game shows online where people win
Yeah.
prizes. And the other thing about LinkedIn is it is different in how it works algorithmically. On LinkedIn, they say, what they say, to only do like 3 or 4 posts a week.
Yeah.
And so, me being the sort of sneaky person I am, I said, yeah, I don't know. Let's try it out. And I posted like every day or twice a day for 2 weeks, and my engagement and reach went way up. So, what works? Try out what works on your page and your channel, no matter what platform it is, and adjust accordingly. And if you don't know what accordingly is,
Hmm.
try different things out and watch the numbers, you
Yeah.
know?
That's right. Now I don't know. I have. Uh, let me just ask something about my own channel itself.
Sure.
So I've for the past I don't know 3 months, 4 months or so, I've tried to stick to a every alternate day kind of posting schedule. Right. I'm pretty
Okay.
headed. I've got quite a lot of recordings lined up. They're all in line, going out every other day. So
Yeah, that's good.
is it a good strategy to have just that episodes keep going out regularly? Because
Yes.
prior to this, what I had was a different theme. I was working on a different theme, and so the episodes were more sporadic. Although the number of views per episode was higher because I only shared it in my own circle, so there were more people watching it because they were less frequent, and every time there was a new thing people had more interest. But now that I post it every day, the numbers are just going down, and it just feels bad sometimes, but yeah, that's how it
Yeah.
is.
That's
So
interesting. I would say that every other day is a really good strategy, but if you see that numbers are going down, I would back off
hmm.
and do twice a week for 2 or 3 weeks and then go back to what you were doing and
Hmm.
see what happens. It might be that when you back off,
Hmm.
obviously your subscribers are getting less notifications. You know, there's two ways we want to reach people on YouTube: through our subscribers that
Hmm.
get notifications, or through people searching. Like I said, it's the second largest search engine, owned by the first, which is Google. We want
Yeah.
people to find us with keywords and keyword rich descriptions. I would back off for a couple weeks, do 2 or 3 a week for 2 or 3 weeks. And it might be that people go, when you spin it back up, oh, yeah, I missed this guy. Let me go get caught up. Oh, that looks like a great episode. It might just sort of what I call
Yeah.
refresh the algorithm. And it might not be the algorithm on the platform that gets refreshed. It might be the consumer's
Yeah.
algorithm that gets refreshed.
No, this is something that I've heard from quite a few people. Okay, they say that the algorithm picks up only once you have like 100 episodes out. Is this is this something that you've also observed, or is it just uh social
As
media?
far That's a great question, and I'm honestly not sure. I
Hmm.
don't think and I think the only reason I'm not sure is I never looked that up,
Hmm.
and we have had more than 100 for so long that I just don't remember. I
Yeah.
don't. If you don't mind me asking, how many do you have?
Currently I'm at 60, 62. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're almost there.
Yeah. So I'll be getting there in
I
another 2 months. So
Okay,
I'm
so
currently
you're on
still,
track.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
I think that there are some other features that kick in when
Mm-hmm.
you get to 100. And if you don't mind me asking, how long you've had the channel? How long have you been actively using it?
Actively posting episodes for the past 5 months. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've had a few episodes, like 10, 15 episodes, which have been there for like a couple of years.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think it might be worth if those episodes
Mm-hmm.
are still current as far as the information being topical
Mm-hmm.
and uh, valuable to your followers, I would take them down and put them back up. Because often what's happening in YouTube is that people don't dig way down.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be that those episodes might be partly what gives the channel
Mm-hmm.
a reboot, but people are not searching down far enough in your content to find them. So it
Mm-hmm.
might be worth taking them down, moving them to the front of the line. The reason I say take them down and put them up rather than just reposting them again is because our channel actually got dinged for
Okay.
putting up the same content.
Okay.
And I don't think it's their rules, but I don't think it's right because a brand like ours, who puts up three, four, five videos a day, mostly 5 to 7 days a week, no one's going to dig back 5 years, let alone 10 years, let alone 1 year in our content. There's too much to go through. So below that search margin, there's all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
videos that people, newcomers, may not ever see, but
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is saying you can't repost it.
Yeah, that's right. So Dan, thank you so much for joining me in on this episode of Your Lab Central. It was just amazing. The
Thank you.
the speed at which we went through everything in this conversation is just a delight talking to you. Uh,
Thanks.
so before we close, where can people get in touch with you if they have any queries or if they want to have a chat?
Sure, thank you. And I'm happy to always just answer questions, folks. So if you go to www.advancedsocialmarketing.com, you could message me through there, through a contact us. You could see what I do, what I teach, how I'm different, why to learn from me. There's great testimonials, but there's also going to be a pop-up boing, where you can fill out the form, get on my email list, and find out about my monthly free workshops. But you can also reach out and just ask questions. You can ask for a one-on-one, free one-on-one call if you want. And then on the Drum Talk TV side, if people go to www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com, and if you want to become a member of our premium level, I'll give you a 1 year membership just for listening to this great show. If you go to checkout and use the code all capitals with no spaces DTTVB Dan free. You'll get a free year, and there's a lot of fun stuff, even if you're not a drummer. And we'd be happy to have you. And those are probably the two best ways. Oh, on Facebook, Drum Talk TV, YouTube, Drum Talk TV. I'm on LinkedIn as linkedin.com/in/Dan Shinder, Shinder. A lot of people want to put in a C or an L. I tell people my parents couldn't afford a C or an L. So it's just Shinder. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/Dan.Shinder. We're on Instagram. I'm not personally on Instagram, but Drum Talk TV is. Everything's at Drum Talk TV. Easy to find, easy to find.
Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much for joining in. For the listeners who've been listening and watching intently, don't forget to like and comment section is always open. Don't forget to leave a comment. It's always open also for questions. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe before you close the window itself. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for putting up with me.